we podcasted?
What?
No. Oh.
We podcasted once today.
Oh, yeah.
And then we were just in my kitchen and we were talking. What just happened?
I thought I had a stroke and we had already done the podcast. Do you see what happened right
oh,
there?
you thought we'd just done this podcast?
Mhm.
No, we're doing it now. We're
Okay, thank you.
podcasting. You guys, you see, we're always checking and say, are we podcasting? Because we don't know.
Are we podcasting?
Yeah, you can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also rate, subscribe.
Please rate, review, and
Comment.
subscribe. Here's the other thing. Maybe you think we're good, but not great. Just say we're great, man. We just need more. Like, we're not. Clearly,
we don't want notes.
We're not. No notes.
Anybody to.
We get enough notes. I promise. We are all good. Not only do we note ourselves, we've got spouses and children.
If you're watching this on YouTube, which we always post them to YouTube, you can note it will look like I'm not wearing pants because I have shorts on.
And I can't wear overalls enough. That's where I'm at in my life, you guys. I wear one size of pant, and it's the kind that go over my shoulders.
The bottom half of Jen is a ghost. It's a ghostly apparition because she's so
I
white.
did see she's fair is the way Michaela would say it. Michaela on TikTok. She is very fair.
That's fair to say.
And you are very fair.
True.
We are podcasting today. We're also on tour at this point. Maybe not for very many shows left. We end up in Chicago in November, which I don't know if you're going to get on a plane and go see a show. Come see us in November. Good
and
gravy.
Detroit, our kids couldn't be more jealous. That's a favorite place we've ever gone to with them.
Honestly, South Bend's going to be a lot of fun. We're very excited. If you don't know, it's a 2-person stand-up show. It's really rowdy. It's a really good time. You get your friends. You come out. You laugh. You go home. You feel a little bit better about dealing with all the people that need shit from you the next day.
Yeah. They're going to.
Hopefully they start at 10 a.m. because Mama.
Let you sleep afterwards.
Whenever you ask for a night off, also ask for that next morning.
Also ask for a night off of.
All of it.
Random strep or stomach flu.
Always.
Because it kicks in. It's
always. Oh, man, that segues into what we're talking about, home renovations so easily. Honestly,
everything
it does.
But can I tell you one thing?
Yes, please.
Before we get into home renovation?
Please.
Can I talk to you about bodily renovation?
Yes.
Well,
that's my favorite. What are we going? What are we talking about?
Overhaul. No, I just found out, and this can be more of an episode when we put all this together, but so Dash is getting braces. He's getting the old spacer situation.
Spacer or braces?
Yeah, both.
Oof.
Look, he's got my genetics. He's got a hot mess. I mean,
what is the diagnosis?
The orthodontist was like, "Is this a human mouth? What's going on in
here?" Did
he
open Dashiell's mouth and go, "New Tesla"? I mean,
yeah, ma'am, we inspected your possum, and I need you to bring in the whole team in for a slideshow. And
I know. Well, I just hear this in the back. We're in the money. Yes. We're in the money.
They were like, "You got 2 kids?" Yes.
Yes.
So he's got an overbite. He's got crowding on top and bottom. So they're going to do the spacer on top.
Yep.
Once that comes out, they'll do braces on top and then a spacer on the bottom. And he does have to wear headgear. And can I tell you, God love him, he's excited about it. So we'll see how long that lasts.
That's what's great about Dashiell is because kids are surprising like this. You're like, oh man, how do I tell him this thing, which is going to be, you're going to feel really dorky about it. And they're like, cool. And you're like, God, maybe that's the trick. Like, I did think I was the coolest person when I was on Clown Troop. And now it's just a talking point to make fun of me.
So, yeah, I don't think you
don't know you're a dork at the time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking at my son's hair right now, which is my
son
fault.
A dork? No, it's
but
I'm
saying,
hard not to give him a hard time
my son's haircut is so bad. He's got nothing but cowlicks. And I took him to a joint that was just open. And so, and I tried to tell her what I want. And he goes, Mom, even I know this isn't good. And I was like, oh God, I don't know what to do.
Just stripes over the ears. Just some.
It's not good. It's just and he's got, this doesn't have enough weight. So it just is all up in the back. It looks like he's wearing a feather situation. It's not good. And I'm like, this is why you're going to look back and you're being like, 6th grade was a rough year. I'll be like, I know.
That's how they're wearing it. Yeah. Cause we have school pictures.
I asked my husband, I was like, I am not seeing when we're doing school pictures. And if that surprises me when they're on the road.
You give me warning. You got to give warning. I mean, school, you know what those dates are going to be back in the year before.
You know what they did at Finn School? On Finn School, which is a private school, which is, I don't know, please rate, review, subscribe because this shit ain't cheap. Who knew? I didn't know. No, I did not know. But he's in private school, Catholic school, so it's a little less, but still rate, review, and subscribe and send us money. And he got his pictures the first day of school.
Oh, wow.
So you just knew they were gonna like walk in, sit down, take the picture, give him the books, give him the thing, do the deal, get him home.
Get
I'm
the
like, I like
ID.
that.
That's great.
Get it done.
Good.
One and done.
So my rule in our house is I'm never going to tell you what to wear except on picture day. And everybody's already pushing back on it. But I'm like, look, I will show you Kristen's 4th grade photo if you want, and you will see why you got to listen to your mother sometimes.
That picture, I got to find it. You got to send it to me. I cannot find it.
Oh, yeah, I have it. It's my screensaver.
Sometimes you take photos and you think at the time, this is a perfect example. And I had Finn's hair currently. I literally thought to myself, this is going to be literally the greatest picture, like school picture. I remember sitting there being like, yes, I'm wearing my favorite jersey. I'm wearing my mom's favorite shell earrings that are the size of my earlobes. I have no teeth, and I have summer teeth. Some are here, some are there. And I'm wearing a really awesome, like real estate agent's haircut. And it's not doing great. And my mom, she was like, I remember my mom dropped the F word. She goes, oh, fuck, it's picture day. And I was like, Mom, I know. I'm like ready to rock. And so she's like, you are doing reshoots. So then I got them back and I was like, Terry,
you don't mess with perfection, Terry.
We just nailed it.
Yeah,
okay?
That's what happened.
She was so upset. And so then I didn't tell her when retakes were. And so then that was the picture. That was the year that I gave them to everybody. How many stacks of pictures do you have that are in the literal like wallet size that you didn't cut? 1,000. Yeah. Not that year. I literally
about every single one.
Every single one.
You do look adorable in it, but everybody has a
nice.
Photo.
We all know that's. You can't even look at me in the eye when you say that. It was a rough year.
I can't. Look, mine came 5th grade year, and I forgot it was picture day. I had a black sweatshirt on and my Aunt Karen's haircut, and I just looked like a boy.
We all go. My next year, I tried even harder. My mom was like, I'm done. And I feathered my hair and wore a tie, and I like to refer to it as my detective picture because I really did feel like it was like was like ties were cool back then.
In 6th grade, I brushed out my perm and
that's
put
the only way to go
in my hair.
Yes.
And I wore a hot pink turtleneck, a royal blue sweater, and hot pink pearls.
Because you nailed it. At the time, thank God, we all think what we're doing is awesome. If we thought it was dorky, then you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't have the joy looking back on it because what we really remember is how much confidence we had.
I have to tell you, I have a really great Halloween costume idea.
What is it?
Finn should be your 4th grade picture for Halloween because he looks so much like you in that picture. And we could have a big one blown up like that lady did at the show one time. And he could carry it around trick-or-treating.
Pictures on planet Earth. First of all, let's just unpack what you just said.
Yeah.
We were on our first tour, which I don't want to brag, but we blew the fucking doors off that thing. It was unbelievable. The most fun, exciting thing ever to all of a sudden go from the interwebs where you see people commenting to thousands of women coming to the shows and having so much fun, such imposter syndrome, like losing our minds. And I remember being at a show and there were so many people. Sometimes your head and your heart have to catch up to words that you're saying at the same time. You're like, I don't know why they're here to see me. Jen's really funny. She's going to have to carry the show because I'm freaking out right now. And then all of a sudden my eye catches something in the back and it's this giant picture. And I'm like, somebody make us a sign? And then I look closer and it was my 4th grade school picture blown up to like poster size.
It was the most beautiful thing.
And I was like, that is the greatest moment of my life. Yeah. That is who I am as a human.
Like,
and she was like, yes. And I was like, I'm sure there was a part of my mother that was like,
had it over her head and was waving it like it was a pro wrestling.
Then somebody made a Spanx one, a sign, and they stretched it with Spanx, and it was like one of those girdle things, and it was like, we love you or something. And the fact that they had to stretch that thing and use a Sharpie on it, that was nothing but laughter the whole time.
Yeah, but Kristin looks so much like Finn in that picture. I think he would nail that.
I got to do it now because we have the same hair. No one thought to give us a fade. It's just such a strong cutoff here.
Between, it's like
My husband
it's like
gets
Terry's hair.
Terry's hair. My mom has always rocked short hair.
Yeah.
Except for a short stint in the early 90s where she wore a lot of butterfly clips, but the front was short. I was always like, But my dad was like, her
Oh.
hair is so becoming when it's a little bit longer. I'm like, what a weird word.
Oh,
Ew.
becoming.
Gross. Ugh,
My
keep
husband
your
never
sex
says
out of it.
this looks becoming. I will be like,
I know we're old. Like, Dad, gross. Okay, I get it. Whatever.
that's a way of saying you're mine. That's it. That's
Ugh,
it. No,
gross.
no, I don't mean. I just mean like here's
Come on,
the
man.
here's the
We're
best
like
I got for you right now.
getting ready to go to baseball. My mom and dad are like flirting. It was all very confusing and gross. So my mom had a short stint with like a little bit of longish hair, but it still had a perm to it. So she always cut my hair like hers. I always said we'd get
Yeah.
2 for 1s at Sheer Country. And but what was my point? Oh, the short hair fade. Colin
kind of has. She has that
uh,
like curly
globe
up
on the
top,
top,
and then short.
tied around the rim. That's how she rolls. And my husband, he loves my mom, and my mom loves
A little too much.
my husband. But he gets so mad when he looks, because he's from Texas and girls wear long hair in Texas. And he's like, why would she do that to you? Why would she cut your hair like that? Now, here's what I will say, and this is rare that I do this, but in defense of my mother and knowing what I know now about children, that at some point when your mom says, if you don't brush your hair, I'm going to cut it short, it's not because she's being lazy. It's because she has tried to brush my hair 2,000 times. And all I do is give her a run for her money.
Yeah.
And finally, she's like, we're going full real estate.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
go- and you know what? I was happier because I thought I was cool.
we let Delilah cut her hair short. She asked a couple times, and I wasn't like, okay. She didn't pick it out of a
You
book.
did.
when
It was
she watched.
really cute.
It was cute, but people were like, why would you have her do that? Because she literally did have these blonde ringlets, and
I was actually surprised that you did it. And not because I didn't think you would think that short hair was cute, but that would hurt my feelings because her hair is such good hair.
Yeah.
I would have
It was
sold
great
it.
hair. And it's not growing back the exact same way that it was.
Well,
when I was
that's
a
her
baby.
baby.
Plus, I have we didn't cut her hair till she was like 4 or 5, I think.
Let me tell you something. They didn't cut Delilah's hair until she was 4 or 5, and it looked like literally she was a mermaid.
Yeah.
We also did not cut Eleanor's hair until like last week. And I think we barely got 4 inches off of it. We've been like brushing through the finest hair on
Oh my
Eleanor.
God,
Like I
her
would make,
hair to cut that she has now.
I know, it's very her, isn't it? I was
bob, it's
worried.
so cute.
She is, it's so her.
Yeah.
She's just like, that's the thing about kids that we all have to like take a page from their book is they're very sure.
Yeah.
You know, there's no like, they don't waffle. They're like, should I or shouldn't I? They're like, nope, let's do it. Like, there's a decision. They're decisive. They're like, I want to cut my hair. Okay. Then they're like, I hate my hair. And you're like, okay. Or I want a bob haircut. All right. Like,
Let me read you this beautiful tweet that I read this week that is exactly what we're talking about.
oh boy,
right
she's
now.
scrolling. We can pause.
You guys,
I'll come back in a different
you know
outfit.
What? I screenshot a lot, okay?
There should just be
there's a lot
Musack
going on.
running right now.
Well, be entertaining, Kristen.
I
Come
am
on,
looking
let
at
me
your
just-
ceiling and it's really nice. I like that there is a, oh God.
Okay.
We're going to talk about renovation. Go ahead.
Listen to this tweet. Inside every woman is 2 wolves. One wolf wants long, gorgeous mermaid hair. The second wolf wants to just chop it all off. There's also a crow pulling the tails of both wolves, saying to get bangs. The crow is the most dangerous.
The crow is the most dangerous. God, I know. I think everybody's like, she looked a lot better with bangs. Why can't she just do them? But they're really hard.
No. Can we Casey? We agree?
Yeah.
We're saying no?
Say la vie to the bangs.
We did it. We let that
successfully-
You
stand.
loved them.
I
We
did love them.
They look great.
I loved them. They looked great.
I'm
But
being
what
ganged up
I-
on right now.
No. What? No. Try to ignore my tone. What I was worried would happen with those bangs. It happened because they're hard. They're hard.
They're hard, yeah.
Give me some credit here when I got an unfair trim by not my stylist and they went
I
they
knew
went
that was
full
going to happen,
cowlick.
though. That's what happened.
But why does it happen after the fact? Why does your hair stop working with you? They were cool and they were long. They were really cool. And then all of a sudden they just started to grow in a different direction. I don't understand. Why does the hair do that?
Well, but
why are you guys so definitively telling me I can't get bangs?
It's just a lot emotionally, Kristen. And I mean, look at how much brain space we all have not having to think about your bangs these days. It's better for us all. She's literally mad at me right now.
I'm mad at both of you. I feel very attacked.
Why?
It's just better for the community if
yes. Why are you not going to get them?
Well, I'm not now because I guess I'm just a big problem. But they looked really good. It was my head that was a problem. That this part just started to go to the left. I couldn't get them to settle down. I felt cheated out of like looking younger and feeling cooler.
Yeah. Well, bangs.
I'm now wearing overalls, okay?
Bangs are.
I felt rock and roll. I played my guitar all the time. I still do that, but it's like I look like a lady that's going to read a story at the library.
Yeah, I mean, bangs they're a myth. They're a unicorn. They're not. They are a fleeting wish that. But we all try it, with the best of intentions, and we did that, and we can let that part of our life go. We can let that go.
Nope.
Yeah. Kristin gets bangs.
Can I have a truly? You guys are dicks.
You're not going to renovate your hair anymore, my dear. Let's talk about your house.
Oh, great. Another fun conversation. Home renovation.
Listen. Look
really dry it up down there.
Tell me, do you want bangs again?
I really liked how I felt with my hair being like rock and roll. Ew, how dare you give me a Corona?
I can't find
I'm not
any more
drinking that.
Trulies.
Stella.
Stella? Where's one?
Right there, the gold top one. Nope, up, right, down.
I think that's a Stella.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, there we go.
I'll do Stella.
They just are a thing that you have to do.
You're
all the
right.
time.
And the thing is, I'm telling you, I'm defending myself because I knew that. And so, I went and I bought the straightener and I did the thing and I blow dried it down because I thought that was the key, like literally taking the hairdryer so it blows different ways. Moms wrote in and told me that we're stylists how to do it, people that have had bangs for a long time. But something happened in the way that they grew when I got it trimmed that one time where I got too much bang.
Yeah.
And then I did the Kelly Clarkson show. Just cut to that. And that's where I look like I'm a sheepdog. And then, then my mom's like, when are we going to be done with the bangs? And I was like, ugh. Because she thinks she's seeing it. It's a Terry two-step. She's like, but you look you have such a beautiful face when it's not being crowded by bangs. It's the way she says it,
Yeah.
Hold on.
I can't.
Casey, I'm good.
close.
Stop looking. What are you doing?
It's
God.
the Trulies are inside.
I know. I just can't. I can't close
I'm
this
good, I'm
now.
good.
There we go.
It's not a character judgment, Kristin. I'm just saying that.
Hold on. We've got Casey who's running a freaking bar
I
cart.
can't close it.
Hey, bar girl.
It's so full.
Cart girl.
She
Shut all the way so it doesn't ding.
Got it.
Okay.
I miss the way I feel in them because the thing I've been struggling with most lately is like I've been feeling really old. And I've been feeling like that, like the one thing that I felt like kind of changed in the last few years was that I got some rockin' hair. And if I could just do it, it felt really cool. But if I got a single trim, it changed it and I'd have to learn how to redo it. And this is what I'm learning about myself. And this goes back to home renovation. Britt, come on in.
For the love of Christmas. Hi, podcasting. We're doing a podcast.
Just a podcast. Here's the thing. Can you bang a door that's close? Can you bang this door?
Yeah.
That would be closer to our microphone.
You guys want to let the dogs in?
Yeah. Can
No,
you,
we are. Yeah.
just go invite some of the people that drive down your street to come on in.
I know.
Okay, great.
Sorry.
Great.
My voice gets really high when I'm trying not to
Oh my God, it's the worst.
The worst. Don't dare him.
Oh, Lord.
Well, this is the thing, and I it's hard to like put this into words, but as you're saying it, somebody who's had bangs hasn't had bangs. Almost every day with bangs is different because you get them and they are perfect,
Right.
and then you have to wash your hair, and then you got to figure out how she did them,
Yep.
and then they grow out.
Yep.
And you figure out how to do them when they get a little bit longer. And then you figure out what you're going to do with them just before you get them cut. And then they get cut again.
Everything you're saying is giving me little flashes of anxiety right now.
Yeah, it's
It's not meant for someone like me who I just have come to terms with, well, but it's a slippery slope. I'm not very good at change. I see
Once
myself.
you notice stuff though. Like that, I would say that's like once you notice that you didn't like what your bangs were doing, then it was bothering you.
Yes. All the
Yeah, you
time.
couldn't,
I couldn't let it go.
Yes.
Right. So like you're saying, if one day they grew out, then I was bothered because they were in my face and I would then figure out where to put them or I would pin them back. And that was not flattering or like what I should be doing. So it was always having to, and I'm just one of those people and I just am, I'm a throw my hair up kind of person. I like having some like wispies and shit,
Yeah.
but like maintenance is tough and I got a lot going on. And so I was more disappointed with how I was looking than excited about how I was looking. Now, if I went to Monique and she did my hair and it looked all great, then I felt like $1,000,000. But then the next day I could feel really bad. And I was like, this is my hair. I gotta like,
Yeah.
there's
gotta be
enough in the
easy.
world to
Yeah.
make me feel bad about myself. I don't need one more thing, right? And like that, I've just come to terms with like I get very overwhelmed by not knowing if what I think and do is like cool. Do you know what I mean? Like, do I have good taste? Do I know what cool hair is? Do I know what cool clothes are? Or am I just wearing what's comfortable and sort of like available to me? And I really do sometimes wonder if like right now we're doing this home renovation and I'll just talk openly. I don't care. We had to move into our back house, which again, just for the like uncool factor of it, back houses in California are a dime a dozen. Everybody's got them. It's just like a garage apartment. And
It's
so
like a mother-in-law.
It's a mother-in-law quarters. I think it's how people in California get a little bit more square footage with your property because everything's so
you
small.
don't have a basement.
You don't have anything. You don't
There's no
have
basements in California.
So we're in our back house, which is a blessing because if we weren't back there, we couldn't do this renovation because we would pay so much to live somewhere.
Expensive
We
to
wouldn't
rent another place.
But we've been saving for this thing forever. We've got it kind of under wraps about how much it's going to cost if I don't change anything. And that's been very stressful. So we're in this back house. We're living back there. It's been rough. It has not been easy. The kids are not sleeping, whatever. That's a different thing. But when we're doing this renovation, we couldn't afford an interior designer, which it is so, they are so important. But they are a luxury. Like have somebody come in, and generally, I did not know this. This is one of the main reasons that we didn't do that because I was like, is this something I could like? I do need the help. But they generally start when you start creating plans with an architect.
Oh.
So I didn't know that. So we created all these plans and paid for architectural plans. That's when I should have had a designer. So we now just need the person that's going to pick out like tiles and finishes. And I was like, well, shit, I got Jen Smedley for that. Like, I'm not going to do that. We're not going to spend that money. That's like,
I don't like plaid pink, but I'll try it. Okay.
fine. I'm like, I'm going to give Jen my credit card. Wrong. I'm going to give Jen a gift card that I've prepaid for. And I'm
Smart.
going to let her go
Yeah.
to Home Goods and have at it.
Yeah.
But the thing is I'm very overwhelmed right now because all I'm worried about is making mistakes. I have like analysis paralysis, like
Oh.
nobody's business. The plans have actually, our GC said my instinct for plans is very good.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because I'm
I
spatial
totally
and
get
I'm
that. Yep.
pragmatic.
Visual, yeah.
But it's this, like, when he says, these words come, first of all, I've never run faster than from our garage to the street when I think I'm going to
avoid
run
him?
into a guy
Yeah.
that I'm paying. Literally, I've got a backpack on. I look like a 7th grader. I'm like, and he's like, Kristin, I need a decision on the color for the patio. And I was like,
He's Canadian then?
he's
Or-
Israeli. I love him. He's hilarious. And I actually really like him. I'm getting along better with him than I am my husband because my husband thinks you can text message me 4 colors and I'm going to make a decision. And I laugh like this. Then I send a text back and I go, I'm not prepared to make any decisions about this yet. Because then I go and I look online and I get on Pinterest or I go on magazines and I'm like, is what I'm thinking okay? Is this, because it feels like so important. Like, what if I get it wrong? It's going to cost so much money. I'm going to fuck it up.
Well, let me say
It's like the
this.
biggest bangs of my life,
Oh.
right? Metaphorically, it's like I'm cutting bangs. We are fucking full committed, by the way. Our front door has,
Yeah. You
what do you
have
call
to
it?
put something
Over
new
it.
in there.
Everybody thinks that we've gone tits up.
Plywood.
We have plywood over our front entrance.
Yeah. It's
It literally,
Everybody thinks
our
they're
neighbor.
turning it into one of those
Ugh.
haunted houses.
Yeah, they're
in
like,
the
they've
neighborhood.
gone full tilt for this
Yeah,
neighborhood for
really
Halloween. Hats
appreciate
off to
that.
you.
Well, can I say that? Okay, like bangs, you have to like them, but it has to like fit your life. And
That's a very strong metaphor for design.
it totally is. And people will say to me, "Oh, it's such a nice compliment when you say like, oh, you have a good eye for design." I don't. I have a good eye for my design because I will unapologetically choose what I like. Because
See, but that's a gift because I am like, well, I really like that, but I really like that. But do I like that? Or am I just being influenced by everyone around me? And do I have a single decision in my head? I'll just wear overalls.
Because when we go through magazines and you're like, I like that. And a lot of them, they're in the same like family. Yeah, I
suppose.
could pick out like what family of color you like.
Yes.
Like
Jewel
muted
tones generally
hues
like
of them though.
like warm
Yeah. And like, I know.
today.
But I think sometimes, especially in the place where you live, because if you live in it doesn't even matter if you live in a big city. It is your inner sanctum. It is your special place. So you need to have color that make you happy. You can't have stuff that like gives you anxiety. That's if you want a place that's calm, it can't have too much like texture to it.
Right.
It has to be like fit your personality. You know,
It's just that's the problem. I'm like, what personality does a house have that screams like put your hair up in a clip and wear clothes that you've given up on? Like, I feel like what if I'm like, that's like literally that's my style, like busy or like haphazard, frustrated.
like-
What design do you go to? Like, can I see a Pinterest board on someone that's over it? What does that look like?
Well, it's exactly like this, and you're doing it. I'm trying to make you feel good about your decisions that you're making because my house is frustrating for most people because I'm very short and I put stuff where I can reach it. I have a lot of furniture and stuff like that. I don't care if you can't walk through it. It's my house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
You
like,
have a lot of side tables.
so you know, I always need a drink wherever I'm sitting. So, and actually, literally, that is because we
But
entertain
your house
so
is
much
really
that it's like,
cozy. And plus, you like in another space and time, you would be like designing women. Who would I be? The weird neighbor, the one that's Bernice. That's who I would be. The one that wears a Christmas tree skirt as a skirt. But you know, I mean, this is literally the truth. I've really enjoyed the construction.
yeah.
I like the nature of that. It's so satisfying because it's task oriented and you see like framing is full Bonerville for me. To see a house framed, you're like, it's like magic. You're like, oh my God, this is a hallway. Oh my God, this is like your idea comes to fruition.
Yeah.
But
That's
like,
exciting.
I went to a tile shop and I was supposed to pick out tile colors and my chest was hot and I did not enjoy Wendy. And I was feeling like all of a sudden her decisions were my decisions and then I was getting like hurried and then my kids are not sleeping for some reason in this back house and I think it's because there's squirrels and critters that run on the ceiling and so the next day I was so tired. It was after we had lunch. I was so tired and I had to go to the tile.
Out there.
Ugh. I can't. I don't know where they are. You gave me some. I'd probably put them out.
Some new ones to put out there.
I'm like running selenite or whatever it is, like trying to find that crap and rubbing it up
clear out
on my
the energy. Yeah.
I'm so constipated all the time. I'm like literally dying. It's
I mean,
so
what
hard.
you said about you don't like a lot of like this is good. So as you're seeing it like go from the ground up, you don't want to add a whole bunch of stuff to it. Like you would rather like sit in like watch a movie in a room that doesn't have a whole bunch of distractions, busyness, or makes you feel like you need to do a thing.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, I want to sit where there's shiny stuff, you know, like and so I think you're doing the right thing for your style. The hard part about like what you're doing, and this is what I would be worried about that you're doing is like, don't think about that you're going to sell this house and that it has to be pleasing to somebody other than you. Like you just need to love it because how often some people don't ever get to remodel and some people never will. And you might not ever do it again. So make it how you want it.
You're
love
right.
it.
You're right. And I don't want it to sound like I'm complaining because I did get a little emotional. This is such a
It's
dumb
not
thing.
complaining. It's stressful.
It is very stressful because it's so what people, if you've never done a renovation, and what I think would surprise you if you talk to anybody who's ever done a renovation is it's so personal.
Yeah.
it's so emotional. It's also like, look, we're not talking about people that have like endless money. Like we are on a budget for sure. So that is an extra stress. But you are constantly like questioning yourself or what it's going to work with and how your family's going to use it and the space. And like, if something didn't work from the plans, you're like, how did I get that wrong? Like it is very emotional. It's very highs and lows. But I will say, I go out every night and I grab a glass of wine right before sunset because we don't have any lighting in the house. So I will sit out there and slowly I see these walls become walls and the insulation's in there now. And we have a subfloor because we had these treacherous 3 steps. It's all I wanted was that to go away, those shitty floors and those steps. And so we've done that. So I'm so easy to please. I'm like, it's pretty great right now. Like if we run out of money, God forbid, but we'd have to use candles, but it's insulated. And I look at the windows and it's the first time in my life that I've ever had new windows ever.
Oh, yeah.
So to be able to open a window and close a window and it's
easy.
like the lines there's no paint on the sill. It's like, it made me feel so incredibly excited.
Every window in our house, every door in our house like has its own secret password. It's so, like
true.
It's besides that they
actually do have passwords.
Because I'm not good with
security.
Keys. I don't have a single key. I have my key
That's
fob
a good,
from my car, but I don't want to have to deal with that. I want the kids to be able to like nobody locked out, nobody whatever. But what I'm saying is like none of my windows close the right way. It's like one, you got to like jimmy up a little bit before it'll lock and all this stuff. And that is like one of the exciting things about a new build or like new construction is you get that.
Yeah.
Like,
and I am excited. Like I'm excited that this house that we didn't have the cash to do this, but there is a thing where you demo these old houses and you build some monstrosity in its place. And I like that we kept this 110-year-old house and we're going to maintain some of the things about her that like we're keeping. You'll love this. You remember that thing where you dropped off milk in the back?
I love
Our
it.
GC is fighting us tooth and nail. We want to put it back. It's just this little milk drop thing in the door for no reason at all. He's like, why would you put that back? It's so old. I'm like, Eric, that's the point. Like, it's so beautiful. It's this, I can just see like a milkman coming to that. It makes me feel so connected to it.
Put it somewhere in your kitchen.
Well, we're going to put it in the same spot because it'll go right into the den. It will make no difference. And it won't go through. I know. He's just like bugged by it. But then we're keeping the same picket fence and Eleanor, on top of it all, feeling analysis paralysis and a lot of pressure and writing checks that my body can't cash. And then all of a sudden my daughter who like walks in and she goes, what have you done to my childhood home?
No.
That is she. And also
All
she is
the
having
memories
sidebar conversations with people telling them how unhappy she is with the decision we've made to renovate.
Eleanor, she mentioned she doesn't like that.
Eleanor says she does not want to go with Farmhouse Modern. I'm like, Eleanor doesn't get to weigh in, okay? Like, Eleanor needs to pipe down. I'm already freaking out.
Save it for counseling later on in your life, okay?
Please tell this to a counselor. Oh, my mom, they chose to renovate our house.
I actually think, I know it's like, I think this is why we all secretly loved that. What was that show where you got $1,000 trading places? What was Trading
there was
Spaces?
that one. Oh, Trading Spaces or something where you would do my house and I would do yours. And there was that one where the woman hated it. It was hilarious.
Oh my God, that guy that
she's
put
like, what
hay
have you
on
done?
everything. No, I know. Thank God we're past that. But really, but I do think like having these like stipulations makes like changing your house. It makes everybody's life a little bit easier because can you imagine if somebody was like, you have $1 million to like come up with this kitchen. I would have a carnival on one. I would have like 14 chandeliers. Like it wouldn't even make sense. Like you need to like say, here's
boundaries.
Here's the tile that you can get.
Yeah.
Or you can get these cabinets. So it like helps you make decisions.
I always ask the same thing. And it's
you would have to have a designer.
You have to, and here's the thing. I am not undercutting the value of an interior designer at all. In fact, quite the opposite because like I do have a couple friends that are designers or like they're architect and a designer, Sam.
Yeah.
And like sometimes I'm like, so what color of hardwood is everybody doing these days? And she's like, here's the sample. Like I'm basically asking her for her.
Drunk.
I know. I'm like, come over. Can you come over and do a walkthrough and I'll just record it?
But you know what? If she's not going to do that for you, don't you ever make her laugh because you know what?
That's nice. She does. She's very, very giving. And I do believe that like designers are valuable in if you are someone who feels like I do and they come to you with the stuff and they go, here are your choices here. If you have that extra kind of dough and you're good with
Great.
that, for me, I felt like I could make these decisions because I am kind of particular in a very narrow way. So I'm not going in between different design aesthetics. I'm like, I love really neutral. Like I want to be able to I could put a cool picture on the wall that's bright colors, or I could take that off and do something really neutral if I want it. I want a very basic palette, but it is like going into the stores and I'm like, what's popular right now? And it's like, 50 tentacles come out. And I'm like, but I don't understand. So
Okay.
many options.
This is a really fun game that I just came up with that we're going to do. Okay.
Okay.
So
I never. Just once.
you have to say one thing in the house.
Okay.
This is so stupid.
All the women are like,
Everybody is,
yes.
"Ooh." Okay.
Jen, lean into this game.
All right. This is like how well you know your friend game. Okay. I'm going to say one thing that would drive you crazy in a house and then one thing that you would probably really like. And we'll go back and forth. Okay.
One thing that would drive me crazy in a house?
Yeah.
You go first.
No,
Give me an
I
example.
know. If Kristin had bead curtains covering a doorway, she would murder someone. She would rip them down.
I've never felt so seen. I can barely deal with wind chimes.
I know, but I think a thing you would really like are those drawers and cabinets to organize like food and plates and stuff like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Something
That would
that
drive me crazy.
that would drive Jen crazy. Like an all grayish or beige kitchen with like one single red apple that's just ironic on the table. Not one thing out.
What are you trying to get me to do? Kill myself, Kristin? I could not live in that place. I could not live in that joyless Kanye land. I couldn't.
I'm going
do
to give
it.
you your aesthetic that would
Okay.
make you insane.
Yep.
Minimalism.
Yeah. Nailed it.
I think you do very well with color. I think you also take for granted how naturally good you are at that stuff. Kind of like, I mean, I can kind of pick up a pencil and draw, and people are like, wow, you're a really good artist. I'm like, no, I'm not. Not compared to like, but they're like, but for the person that doesn't know how to do it, you're good. I'm like, I guess. But
Yeah, that's why
you kind of like go, well, I'll just like throw it up there and see what sticks. And I'm looking at this like really cool Art Deco wallpaper that I'm like, where the fuck did you even find it? Like, I can't like, she's like, I found these awesome shelves that go with my thing in the deal. And I'm like, I plan on going to one store
Yeah.
day of. It's all going to be like, you just buy Crate and Barrel out. What's up? I won't do that because I can't make any decisions. Everything's great.
Well, this is what Kristin likes. So she does like she likes form and function, but she likes like your kitchen, you will like something to be like work easily in,
Yes.
maintain it easy,
Totally.
a place for everything.
Always. No
already say-
outside. I don't want any containers that hold shit in it. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I've lived with for 5 years. And I'm so like, I literally want one space for one spatula.
She like, yeah, I have like 14 containers that have like meat cleavers and stuff sticking out of them. She doesn't want that. She wants stuff to get put away. And then for color and visual interest, she has windows and then fun, bright colored pieces of art.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then tile that is pretty, like, made of a good product.
Yes. And I believe weigh in here, ladies. Anybody have any ideas on tile, especially if you
Yeah.
know for a fact what works?
It's a lot.
The
Yeah.
tile is a real trick, and the counter colors I'm having a hard time with. But I also just have not had time to really dig in and I have to give it to my GC. We've become this married couple because he's like, Kristin, I know that you're very visual. So I've built this as
How sweet.
he'll set up like the deck to show me how the deck has to work because we've had to do all these things because the house is so old to accommodate like the floor being raised. It's all these math equations. So I start to get anxiety. I'm like, I don't know anything about decks. He'll go, let me show you, and he'll put it out for me to show me. And
Let me show you my deck.
let me show you my deck.
Your what, sir?
He's like, I work out all the time. I
I'm
work out 5
picturing
days a
a
week.
huge deck.
Every time he
Me
sees me,
too.
it's like 8 a.m. He'll say, good afternoon. Because he's being funny because he's been up since 5 a.m. And I'm like, Eric,
All right.
funny. I too have been up. I just didn't have a bra on for like 4 hours. Okay, I don't need. Look, I feel and our
I'm
crews
just
are
standing here holding my dick.
my deck. I'm on your deck holding my deck. I'm gonna just speaking
Sorry,
of decks.
I'm gonna hit that till it works. I
But
think.
you're right. I need to calm down. I also tell myself that everything is sounds corny, but every day is a blessing. Every day that I get closer to it being done, it's going to be better than it ever was. There are things that we built into this house to be cozy and all about family because like it was really important for me to have a space where we're dorks. We love watching TV together at night
Yeah.
for 30 minutes and we also like to play music. So I was like, I want this I don't care about I really don't. I don't care about the designer of anything about furniture, any of that. I don't even think I know any of that. I'm just like, I'm not going to pay exorbitant amount of money for a couch, but I might for a piano. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's where if I had it, but I don't. So if you have a baby grand that you're looking to get
Throw
rid of,
it this
go DM
way.
it this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's not discount how excited you've been about the subfloors. It's not like you're not appreciating all the
Oh my
moments
God.
of it because I don't give a shit about subfloors. I mean, I do for you because it's progress, but I mean,
How
she
many times? You
literally-
want to
she's
talk
like,
about my
do
bangs?
you want to see a picture of my
My
subfloors?
subfloors?
And I was like,
If you don't know what a subfloor floor is, it's where so we had our floor raised up because we had treacherous stairs, and a subfloor is what they put down while they do all the other work, and the last thing they'll put in is your hardwood floors or
Yeah,
your
yeah.
flooring. So like you have a subfloor, and I walk in there and I'm like, well, this is basically done.
I know that it feels like, yeah, because they got all the plumbing, the electrical is.
It's all electrical's done. I think the thing that is hard is making these finishes decisions because you feel like that's like the frosting, literally. It's the
Yeah.
frosting on the cake, and you can really blow a cake with shitty frosting. So
Yeah.
I want to make
Don't
sure that
anybody get that whipped cream
No,
kind of frosting.
you go
Nobody likes
like
that.
full buttercream. Don't be an asshole
Yes,
about
you
it.
get
And don't try to like
buttercream.
make it like less calories or put fucking yogurt in it. Just
No.
make it a buttercream frosting.
I did think of another thing that would make you insane in a home is one of those perpetual motion machines, like the balls that you throw one end and then it goes. Duk,
Why would I do that to myself?
duk,
I'm
duk.
not.
They're big.
First of all, I would never leave. I would just be like, let me time these out. Let me see what the exact space. I would literally go insane.
God, my grandma had them in her house. We used to make them nuts. They'd all be going at the same time.
Oh my God. I go to your kitchen and I hear do 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 do, and I'm like,
My
what?
dishwasher.
It's a dishwasher, and it literally, I'm like, I will put my foot through. I unload it just so it stops talking to me.
I mean,
I think she knows when I walk in, and she's like, watch her. I'm gonna
my
freak her out right
fridge,
now.
even it like when you leave it open too long, it sings like this after school special song.
Yeah, it's
like,
really low pitched.
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm like,
I'm a
let's
rich.
not get so emotional, fridge.
Mine's
Okay.
like really gritty, like
know.
Black Sabbath, my dishwasher. It's like, I'm barely working, but dun, 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 dun.
I'm done. I'm done.
And you know, and the back house, the oh God. Like we are a family of 4, and this is a small back house, and we have 1 bathroom. And so when we do get into this house, it will be so glorious because I'll be like, I need everybody
You go
to
that
go
way?
crap somewhere else.
Yep. I'm gonna
I
go
am
this
so
way.
tired of taking shifts
Yeah.
or when I am just having a moment to myself. By the way, that could be a moment of like, I don't know, changing my tampon, and everyone decides that's when they're going to come in and floss their teeth or take a shower, husband included. Show me a meme that's really funny. I'm like, I can't.
I mean, hey, look, nobody. We all feel a little vulnerable in those moments.
I've stopped
Nobody's
trying
looking
to.
hot.
No one
Yeah,
and no one cares. They're like, it's fine. I'm like, no, it's not fine. I want a minute to myself. I went and got a subscription to WeWork so I could go somewhere, and I went there the other day just to watch Hulu.
Yeah, you need to don't just change your tampon in WeWork. Though. Can I say that? You need to
I'll forget that I'm supposed to go to a bathroom, and I'll just be talking to
I
someone. I'm like,
know.
excuse me,
Well, can I tell you what we did our remodel 3 years ago when
I
we
know,
moved
and it was a
in.
big one. I literally didn't do one because I was like, look what they're dealing with.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
Because they had to move some walls and
But
stuff
it's
like that. 'Cause we had this
gorgeous.
we had this little tiny 1960s kitchen with like all the appliances were meant to like
Kill
blind a child.
somebody.
Yeah, they were like the worst height. Like it
Never
was-
seen an oven like that a day in my life.
You
Not
guys-
on TV, not anywhere.
No, can I tell you, Mom?
it was the weirdest thing.
There was a range top that was a drawer that pulled out, and it was on the corner, an entry corner to the
With basically, it's to be explained like a hallway.
yeah.
So,
like
there
you're-
was nowhere to go but right
absolutely
into it.
Yeah, I just kept picturing.
I'm surprised there wasn't like pieces of skull hanging on the
I
corner.
cannot believe it
Because that
yeah.
thing has given more stitches than a surgeon.
So we had to move some stuff, and I was like, I want a big kitchen because I used to cook. And that was the big.
But
I'm not
you
doing
guys
it.
are right. And you told me the kitchen is the nucleus. It's where everybody wants to hang out.
Everybody
They want
wants
to eat. They want to chill. Jen did it right. She hung a TV in there because they've got like this sitting area. So it's so cozy. When we're here and we watch games, we're in the kitchen.
You
We're
can't-
grazing and
yeah,
eating.
That's where everybody always is. That's where all the fun
Yeah.
conversation always ends up happening. So, but we did that, and then when we got done, we were like, I don't want to do another thing.
And then you guys started one 2 weeks later.
Well, we did that. Well, then the COVID happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was different because it didn't like
It
affect our
feels like
lives.
2 weeks, but it was actually a little bit of time.
But I have had this broken shower, and sometimes I will look at it. I'll be in the shower because that's where you do all your like
Thinking and
it's
judging.
not really good. I'm like, you got to get your life together.
I know.
God
If you got a
darn
shitty
it.
shower, you're like, life is hard.
What kind of a ruse are you
Yeah.
living here, man? Like, if somebody saw this shower, you could get tetanus off this thing. There's a wrench at
I
one
used to
point.
apologize to people and
If
go,
you
I'm
have-
sorry, this is our 7-Eleven bathroom.
If you have a tool in your shower, we got to
You gotta-
change
you
your
gotta
life.
do something
Don't
better.
Feel good about
Ugh.
yourself. So what happened? And buying all those parts is not cheap, by the way.
Oh my God.
It's
no.
so shocking. So when they wrecked our sink, the sink in our kitchen, they couldn't fix it.
I know because it's like, I know, man.
So many things. So we got all this. This was like 3 years ago. We got free fixtures for the bathroom because I was like, well, everything's done except
Yeah.
for this,
I need to shop your closet.
Yeah. So they gave us all these new fixtures to replace them where they have sat for 2 years. And so
Yeah.
I've been like dropping little Easter eggs to my husband that I really would like.
Are they Easter eggs that are like at very high volume
I
of
shit
yelling?
on his desk at one
You
point.
shit in his
No,
desk.
I
Like,
mean,
I like, here's my parts.
So here's what I did that ultimately was the straw that broke the camel's back. And he was like, you're right. Because he has a plumber he loves. The guy's hard to get. I go, you call anybody. You call anybody who says, if they drive
They're
a plumbing
available.
truck, I want them to fix
Yeah.
the shower because this should be an easy part of my day. Like,
Right.
this is one thing I need to have be easy is showering. And now the kids always use our shower too. They
Yeah.
always have. So it's just a pain. I had to like take the thing off, put the
You
screwdriver.
have like a wrench on the handle, like,
Are you totally? I couldn't. So when he was out of town, fixed it myself.
God bless you.
But guess what? I didn't fix it. It
Oh,
was
no.
all, it was
I know.
all drippy and it was
I
all
know.
leaky. Well, when I think he put too much muscle into it, because when I had it turned off and it wasn't dripping, but when he tried to do it, it was like buckets and buckets and buckets of water, which you can't do in Southern California. You guys, like, people will kill you for that.
Yep.
So, but that was the deal breaker. He's like, I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
get
call
that plumber
somebody.
here. So it's fixed, and you guys, it's been 2 years, 3 years, 2 years,
Yep.
and I finally, but the plumber got the wrong part. So
Oh,
like it's supposed to be a
no.
rain head shower that has one of those attachments. And I'm so happy to have this new shower that even though you switch to the handheld
It
about
doesn't work.
7 feet up, you do. It's like
Oh.
I have to stand on the edge of the shower to turn it. Don't care. Don't
No.
care. I can deal with that.
You're like, I can deal with that.
I can deal with that part of it. But the rain head is going like side, so he has to come back. So it's still not done.
But it's
It'll
not
never get
terrible.
done. Yeah,
It'll
it's
never,
better.
nothing will ever get
It's
done.
be-
Let
There's
me-
not like I was scared that like mold was getting through to the
Yeah.
like water was getting in there, and we're gonna have to replace the whole side of the house.
Yeah.
If this didn't, so I was like, well, I was gonna shove it full of like fix a flat or something
Yeah.
like that, just so that
You're like, don't
it
let me,
doesn't-
don't threaten
yeah.
me, sir. I'll take it to it myself, and
Well,
then I'll
so I
cause
did.
us 4 times
I
as much.
broke it
threatened
worse.
my husband. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna learn how to tile, and then I'll tile the house myself. And he looked at me the way you guys looked at me when I thought about getting bangs again, and he goes, I really don't want you to do that. I really don't want you to do that. And I was like, I could learn how to tile because I do think I'd be good at it.
I think you would. Too,
I
yeah.
think I would be good at it, and I really enjoy it. I like the whole process of it. And he's like, but I could see the panic in his face of like, this will be the thing that breaks her. Like, who the fuck does she think she is in between, like, being a teen mom and, like, going on the road doing comedy?
Yeah.
You're going to learn how to tile, but I will. Don't worry about it. I will.
I mean, that's any change that
And
you
I won't
make,
get
it's like-
bangs, but I'll learn how to tile because that's a trade.
I mean, you don't get a day off to do it. That's just
No.
not going to happen.
And that is also belittling just how important those craftsmen are that are good at it. Like, I'm
Yeah.
fully impressed. Listen, like, nobody's more impressed when a plumber comes over and can look at a problem and fix it. I think that's awesome.
I know. Yeah, it's
I know
true.
how it is
That-
to punch up a joke. That's not easy. But freaking looking at a problem and fixing it or building something, I think it's
I
awesome.
mean, any of us who have ever clogged a toilet would like to really realize, shout out to plumbers.
Oh, man.
That sounds like a hot flash.
Hot flash, hot flash. Hot flash.
It's not. I do have a hot
Okay,
flash.
let's go to a hot flash.
Okay, I don't want you to I'm scared you're going to disagree with this one. But you usually don't like my hot flash. Is that true? You didn't like the last one. that
I
did?
think the one that we've always really agreed on was Jason Momoa.
Oh,
And it
yeah.
was like a full night conversation.
Yeah, that was
That one was just the one
Okay.
that, like, but you and I do have weird tastes about, we can agree if a guy's just like a thirst trap. What's up, young people?
Well, I have
But
one.
you do have some weird nuances.
I
that I'm
know,
like,
but I can't believe I haven't done this one before.
don't make it hard for me to like him.
I don't think this will be hard for you to like, especially in the last like month or so of what has happened. Prince Harry. Have we ever done him?
I like him a lot.
Can I tell you why I definitely.
Do
when
you
I was
find him
in-
attractive?
I found it when I was like
Okay.
young. I thought he was so like
Because he was definitely like a bad boy. He was like
he
out,
was like a rugby
like
player. He's out
totally. He
ships
was out
and
like,
stuff like
always
that.
had a white shirt on that was like
Oh.
cuffed up and kind of
Yeah.
sweaty to his body. I was like, what's up?
Never about him has it necessarily been what he looked like. It's always been his like
His affect, his
and now like after seeing like with the queen dying and everything how he's like kind
Handling
of
everything.
and how he handles it and how he's like such a fierce protector of his wife,
yeah,
their family, like
yeah.
he was literally born a prince. He doesn't get to wear all the like swords and all this stuff anymore. He gave that up for
Yeah.
Meghan Markle and I think it's so attractive. I
She
think it's
can
so
bug
hot.
me a little bit.
Oh, I love
She
her.
can bug me a little bit.
Well, sure.
Only because she's like so perfect and put together and a little
Yeah.
bit like who's the comedian that we love? Who's
I
the
look like I'm just
who's the
Look
who's
to
the
my
comedian
leg.
that I love so much? He's like, he always talks like this. He's very smart and he does one-liners and he talks like he's a 75-year-old man.
your contractor.
No, that's my no. God darn it! I just blanked on his name.
Oh,
He does a
yeah,
bit-
he was on SNL.
He does a
Yeah,
bit about
what's his name? You know who he is? He was
Yes.
on SNL. And
yeah,
then
he
Where's
did a bit about how Meghan Markle is so critical of the royal family, but like it wasn't a surprise. It wasn't like she went over and there was a reunion of like hillbillies, and then all of a sudden they like buttoned up, and it was like a big snooze fest. He was
John
like,
Mulaney.
John Mulaney.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you knew who you were getting. Like you knew who. Like and I do appreciate that because he would be my hot flash, which I think we can both agree with. Do you like John Mulaney? I think he's so smart. Look at, we did it again. We never agreed. Prince
I
Harry's
can
not
see
me.
it.
I actually like Prince William a lot.
I
I do, and most people don't, and I do.
I do.
think he is
like him too. I like both those boys because I feel like so bad for them.
so many people sit in judgment of them because they have such wealth. But make no mistake, their mother died at an important part of their lives, and they were nothing but exposed to terrible criticism,
Yeah.
and like they've been criticized, and like I think Prince William is doing his best to like him and Kate Middleton are like living, they take all their photos. She takes all their photos, like their family photos. They do it on iPhones. Like I believe that they're trying to live as normal of a life as two people that are royal people couldn't
Yeah.
live. And I think Prince Harry took it a step further because he kind of could, because he's
Yeah.
not as attached to the responsibility of that. But I really do think, and I love that both of them are talk so openly about mental illness,
Yes, yeah.
because Princess Di had so many problems herself that extended past just being in the most weird situation that someone who's 19 could find
Oh
herself.
my God.
Like,
it's
what?
crazy.
I'm going to
do-
drive in my Datsun to the Buckingham Palace because I'm a 16th cousin and like hang out. Cool.
Let's be clear about it's the royals are easy to hate if you want to, because I mean that like thin-lipped
Yeah, eat the
appropriate royal
rich.
smile makes me want to smack them all. But I understand it's like it's what you're supposed to do, you
It's
know.
for
and-
them. It's not for us. It's for them. It's what they do. I just feel like I still have such empathy and compassion for them and sympathy that they had to deal with like their mother being like, she was like bait for the piranha that are paparazzi,
Yeah.
which is disgusting. Like that is the saddest story of them all, is that her end was the thing that this
But
fucking paparazzi reporter.
I love this romantic story about, because Harry and William's uncle was supposed to be king, and he
He abdicated
because he was in love with somebody. And
because
I
he was
feel
banging a divorcee in the States. What's
yeah,
up?
I feel like that is like
We've
Prince
all had that
Harry, and
uncle
I
that
think
brought that girl to the
that's-
party, and we were like, oh.
Everybody's gonna get judgy on her, but
she's not Catholic. What?
I
Yeah,
just,
that's how it went in
I
our royal
love that,
family.
like he is different than that. Like it feels like he does things for love, and I think it's super hot.
Yes. Well, and Megan has a podcast, and if she
She
ever
does?
wants to cross pollinate, and she can be on our podcast, and we'll be on her podcast,
Yeah,
and we'll
I
really
wonder
help
who
her
has
numbers.
more listeners. Yeah,
Well, I'm just saying, like, I think we bring the same thing to the table.
absolutely.
Nothing but class and polish. And I'll bring a Stella and my overalls. And Megan, we would
You
love to
can
have you on the show.
Kick back and relax.
But yes, that's a good one. Wait, did we do a mom box? Oh, no, wait. I forgot. I've got a mom box.
Hold on,
Oh, wait, did I do it wrong?
you didn't. No, you
Oh.
did. Are we podcasting?
Did you see me in the beginning when I was like,
we didn't do it yet.
what was our
Kristen.
subject? What did I
Yeah.
talk about? Okay. Burping Stella. Okay.
Wait, one of these years I need to get rid of that coffee mug that you have. Sorry, everybody.
Oh, man.
I wondered
That's
what
Christmas
that smell
name.
was. It wasn't my armpits.
All right. So is that really a working coffee cup?
There
Let's
we
not
go.
look in it.
I'm just gonna throw it. No, I can't.
You
I
know
love
what's
that
weird
cup.
is
I
if
love that
something
cup.
smells bad in a plate or a dish or whatever, and if you wait it out, it stops smelling bad.
Okay. We
So
probably,
whatever's in there has rotted so much that it's gone past
I
the
think
point of
we've
actually,
circled. Yeah.
because like something smells bad to be like, hey, you need to get rid of this, and then the smell's like, well, fuck you if you're not going to
Yeah.
come back to me. I'll just
Yeah. Eventually the smell dies.
the
too.
smell dies and then the
Yeah.
cup dies, and yeah, it's all
I'm still gonna use it. I love it's perfect size.
it. You do like a tall coffee
I
cup.
do.
I like one that looks like we're at a campfire. Okay. This is from, it's just Kay Haley. So she doesn't have her name on there, which is perfectly fine. And she just wrote this cute little message, and it says, "You ladies are my hot flash today. I've been traveling for 32 hours now, moving from Germany to Arizona.
Whoa.
And I'm listening to weeks worth of podcast episodes that I've been saving up for this journey. I appreciate your humor, realism, and sense of friendship that you extend to your listeners. Right now, I'm on a layover at LAX, and my thought is, I'm in the land of Kristin and Jen. I need to tell them thank you. So thank you."
Oh my!
I think that's really sweet.
gosh, That's
We-
so
we
sweet.
do
I
go-
wish you would have known that you were here, and we would have.
Brought you a margarita for your
Yeah.
road trip or your flying trip.
Especially
That's a long
if you're on
one.
American, they have that Chili's too that I love.
Chili's too.
But-
Well, she just was like, "Oh, I thought you were the Meghan Markle of podcasts, but you just really showed yourself.
Sorry, I am
We're
who I
Chili's
am.
2. We don't even go to Chili's 1. We just go to Chili's 2.
Yeah.
What is that? Chili's Fast or something, like a on the go
Yeah,
Chili's.
It is. They
like
have a to go thing.
yeah,
at
to
the
go thing.
airport,
Like pick
yeah.
up Chili's and go at the airport. Man, we're gonna take you to all the classiest joints,
So
lady.
exciting.
We get so many fun messages that people are
Keep
listening to the podcast on, like, while they're going on walks and on the treadmill and doing all sorts of fun stuff. Good for you while
Yeah, it
you're
almost
biking on the
inspires
Peloton.
me to walk.
We're just gonna sit here in Peloton, sit here and podcast. Did we just did we podcast?
Did we, Kristen? Do you remember? I'll let you decide.
If anybody has thoughts on tile colors and cabinetry, I really don't want to go white, and I got to go uppers and lowers, and I don't want them to be all one color. So
All right, we
work inside that.
podcasted.